Alrighty guys, welcome back to another one. In today's video, we're doing a breakdown on this little bit older box of Winchester Super X 12 gauge 2 3/4 inch non-pellet double-aught buck. The velocity is not stated on the box. However, the modern version of this exact same stock keeping unit, SKU, whatever you want to call it, they're listed at 1325. So this is also probably the 1325 FPS 12 gauge double-aught non-pellet that they still make, just the older box. Here's a picture of the new version, and it actually shows the pellets being inside of a wad if you look. The old ones do not have that. Today's snooze and drink combo is NOS Zero Sugar. It's alright. Not my favorite, but it's not bad. And Lenny, this is loose, Grove cut, which means coarse. And that is a loose snooze. I like the flannel or plaid, whatever that is, on the can. That looks really cool to me. Of course, I can't read any of it, well, most of it, because it is in Swedish. This may be shocking to some, hard to believe for others, but I actually can read a little bit of Swedish. Not a lot, but a little bit. So, going over the box, and yeah, it's in rough shape. In all honesty, guys, I bought these in 2015, and they were my home defense load for about 6 years, I want to say. Right around the time I got into reloading and discovered that double-aught buck is not the best option for home defense. Anyway, yeah, kind of in rough shape. These are unplated shot, XB 1200, they still make these. And yeah, the box looks cool. It's just silver and red with some black on it. Does look pretty nice, I like it. This side is just our barcodes. Warnings on the bottom, if you want to read anything, just pause it. That is, once again, our specs. And the back of it is some warnings in a different language and a little bit about Winchester Super X. They started in 1922. Actually, I believe Western started the Super X line. Not Winchester, but still. They are the same company now. So the box looks fine, but on to the interesting stuff. Here is the shell. It isn't a modern Winchester 12 gauge shell, the weirdly smooth, soft plastic that you find in the Super Targets and Universals. Yep, this is the same hull material, high brass steel head with a modern Winchester 209 primer. Head stamp says Winchester 12 gauge. I think these are about 20 years old. The hull just says Winchester Super X, double-aught buck, non-pellet. And we have a length of 2 3/4 inches, 70 millimeter. That is all it says. You can actually see that these are a buffered load. You can see the buffer through the plastic, as well as the pellets. I will speak normally someday, but it looks like our stack height ends about right here. That's a fairly tall stack height. The crimp is really nice. It does have a little bit of a taper on it, not much, but it is there. And we do have the heat-sealed crimp thing, as you guys can see right here in the middle. Once again, I'm not such a huge fan of that, but overall, I mean, this is a beautiful crimp. Winchester generally does pretty well with their crimps. That is a nice one. Okay, so here is what the pellets look like. There are 9 of them, and they are nice and shiny. Guys, I think these are actually from the 90s, and I'll show you why in just a moment. But for as old as these are, the Buckshot still looks great. And I think these are 33 cal. Well, I was wrong. It's closer to 32 cal than it is 33, but that's about what you get from factory double-aught. They're almost never true 33 cal. Now, with the buffer here, which looks like this, that is their Grex buffer. Let's see the focus total payload weight on that. Get in there, make sure it's all in there. 1.091. That's still not quite 1 1/8 ounces. Now, non-pellets of true 33 cal double-aught is 1.1 to 1.11 ounces of just the lead. Once again, true 33 cal double-aught. With buffer, it brings it up to 1.15 to 1.16, just a hair more than a legit 1 1/8 ounce payload. We have 1.091. So yeah, closer to 32 cal. But that's about what you get with factory double-aught. They're almost never true 33 cal. So going down the order of stack height, we have 2 1/2 inch sections of fiber cushion wad, giving us a total of 1 inch of cushion. There are no nitro cards in this, and the reason why I think this is a shell from the 90s is we actually don't have a plastic gas seal in here. This is just a cardboard over powder wad. I think that's what they're called anyway, but yeah, looks kind of like a bottle cap. I think these are pretty cool, and well, that's why I think it's a shell from the 90s. Kind of reminds me of the Winchester turkey loads from the 90s I've done breakdowns on. Same setup minus the plastic wrap that they put in those turkey loads. Yeah, this doesn't have that, but still it's very, very close to the turkey loads. Here's what the powder looks like. It looks like an old discontinued powder called HS7. It's not as dark as Longshot, or not as light as Longshot. HS7 is more black in color, and this is kind of black in color. And don't worry, my hands are clean. I just washed them prior to filming this because I knew I'd be handling the powder, so no risk of contamination there. Looks like we have 23.5. There is a few little specks still in there, but it's obviously not HS7. That stuff has a burn speed between Longshot and Blue Dot. This is a medium speed powder similar to Green Dot. Yeah, not HS7, but there it is. And as for the hull, we have a medium height plastic base wad, and this is a straight wall shell. Once again, the same kind of plastic that we find in the Super Targets or Universals today, or even most of the Super X line. So, modern Winchester hull with a little bit older school components. I find that pretty cool. And here's what it looks like put back together. Just used a Got BN2, no press. You can see we do have a hole now because Winchester's heat sealed crimp thing. Not a huge fan of that, but again, it is what it is. There is a Tyvek overshot card underneath the crimp, that way the buffer cannot spill out. But overall, really nice. Once again, this is the shell I was using for home defense for about 6 years before I realized that double-aught buck is far from the best option for home defense, with a shotgun anyway. I live in a relatively small double-wide trailer with bedrooms in all directions, and double-aught has problems with over-penetration, especially loaded to 1325 FPS. I am now using lead BB shot. But anyway guys, there's a breakdown on a vintage, if you want to call it that, box of Winchester 9-pellet double-aught buck 12 gauge. But that's about all I got for you. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.